What's up, guys? Back with another stream. Today we're checking out the Laminar Research Vision Jet. This is a jet that you get with X-Plane 11. It's free with the flight simulator. And when the first release of native VR, Laminar said that this plane doesn't work properly or isn't supported by VR. But I will tell you that a lot of the stuff in the cockpit is accessible, which is good. So we're going to check that out today, and we'll be doing a little flying of the SF50, the CIrrus SF50 Vision Jet. We're going to take it from Executive Airport, Fort Lauderdale, down to Key West. And it's, let me show you what we're going to do here. Oh, I'm not sure why this isn't working. There you go. Alright, so we're going to be going, here's a route. We're going to take a nice route along the Keys, so we'll be checking out like Marathon right there and some other stuff. And we'll head into Key West right here. Pretty simple, 154 miles, about that. And I'm not doing FS economy, anything like that. Just want to fly the Keys and fly this jet. So should be fun. Before we get going, make sure you check out VR Aviators group on Facebook if you're interested in VR aviation. You should check that out. Lots of great people there, and definitely worth something worth checking out. So, all right, let's get to it here. Let's get inside the plane. We're gonna get our flight plan loaded up. Alright, here we go. We're already started. This is pretty easy to start this plane. You basically turn this knob right over there. Now I have noticed too that you can use the touch controller to control the stick, which is, I'm sure that they're working on supporting this plane. There's a few things that aren't supported, but most of it is supported. Let's get over here to the business, the G1000. We're going to make sure that our flight plan is in there, which that's not it. So we're going to go to menu. We're going to scroll down to delete flight plan. Enter. Oops. Okay. And then we're going to go to, we're going to scroll this over. Get our cursor, and we're going to scroll down. So this guy right here, already put this guy in. KFXE to Key West. We'll hit enter. We'll bring up our flight plan, and there it is. What we'll do is we'll hit the cursor. And this doesn't, I can't scroll down here for some reason. So what I have to do is I have to go over here. This works over here. You go FAPL here, and you do cursor, and I can scroll down here. Oh, that's not it. Damn it. Alright, what we do is I grab the outer one like that. It was letting me grab it before, but for some reason it's not doing it now. No, that's not what I want. Damn it. Let me see if it lets me do it over here. There we go. It's a little kludgy, so we're going to go to that guy first. Menu, activate leg. Okay, we should be good there. Back to flight plan. Little bit kludgy, but I think it's going to be just fine at some point. Let's see, where are we going to fly? How are we going to fly? Fly to... Where's our altitude? We're going to fly to... We'll fly at 3,500. Okay. We'll set our... we'll go on nav. I don't want autopilot on, though. We're going to go on nav. And we're going to go on vertical speed. And yeah, this is kind of weird. But it was working before. There we go. If you hold the touch controller like that, you can move it. So I want to go at, it's one time per, there's 7. 8 should be good. Okay. All right, that's good. What else do we need? I'm not going to worry about the transponder. But I should just be able to turn on autopilot. I should go to 3,500, and I should hit my GPS. Hopefully. The last thing I want to do is go menu. I want to hit and oops, crap. Menu. Track up is what I want. Okay, cool. And we should be good to go. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, I mean, I'm finding the motion in the CIrrus Jet is really, really smooth, which is great. Set parking brake. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Let's go. Let's teleport outside here. Can I teleport outside? No. Guess not. Teleporting doesn't work. Let's go outside here and see if this works. That works. So once I go outside here, I can teleport. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. Red wheels, the red brakes. It's got a little bit of paint wear on it. Not the highest detail. Oops. See how those rudders work. Pretty cool. There's my ailerons. There's my elevators and my rudder. Elevators and rudders are pretty much consistent there. All right, back in the plane. Yes, Doc Paul, I am having too much fun. You're absolutely right. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so there are some things in this jet that still have to be fixed, or I should say updated. Hopefully the next release of VR, this thing will be ready to go because it is a fun jet to fly. Easy to take off, easy to land. And very, very cool in VR because you have such a wide view. I'm not sure if I set up. Did I set up any views on this guy? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I got those two views. I don't have any other views set up. I have to do that on my mouse. All right. Good to go. Let's get the flaps to 50%. Sounds like Hendrix, doesn't it? All right, so we're going to be taking off and banking to the right to pick up our first GPS coordinate. Do we have enough gas? No. Good thing I checked. Let's go here. We're going to go to the plane. Going to go to weights and balances. Oof, that would have sucked. Let's get ourselves some gas. And make it kind of heavy. Now we have gas. Let's see, how is my set the trim? You want that trim set to right there, little white thing, and we're good to go. Let's get out of here. Full power, release the brakes. I have XP Realistic set up for this plane. I think we're looking for about 85 knots here. And there we go. Nice up, boom. Gear up. Let's go outside, gear up. Flaps up. Clean the plane up. Get ourselves. See, it flies really smooth. You've got great vision because it is called the Vision Jet. But you've got a lot of. You can see how, it's great to for visuals, just because of this, because of obviously the wide windshield. All right, let's get up there. We're getting 64, 65, 165. We're picking up speed. And once we get on close to our GPS here, I'm going to set, might as well do it now. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
All right, we should keep going up to 3,500. And we'll get on our GPS vector here. Plane's all cleaned up. Coming out of Fort Lauderdale. Oh, it didn't pick it up. That's weird. That's not good. Maybe it'll start to pick it up. Let's see. It looks like it's starting to turn. I have to help it a little bit here. Oh, I know why. It thinks... Ugh, damn it. It thanks for going to the, I gotta move this, advance this ahead, so let's get over here. I don't understand why that's not the active leg. Let's go activate leg. Yeah, it's something wrong with this. Let's see if we can. We'll activate that leg. Oh, you know what? Would help if I turn nav on. Wouldn't that help? That would help. I'm saying to myself, why isn't this working? And it's got everything to do with the fact that I didn't, you know, it's usually operator error, pilot error. Say, why is the GPS tracking? And we're going to intercept that vector perfectly here. Get the yaw damper on. Now you're wondering why I'm moving up and down the cockpit here. It's because it's really hard to... Nope, that's not the one I want. I'm one behind here. No, I'm using plane command. I'm using plane command. I tell you what, this G1000 is kind of messed up. I don't understand. I don't understand what the hell I'm doing wrong here. I can't tell you that everything's flying smooth and I feel like I'm in a real jet. Are we going to be on the track now? Let's hope. Looks like we're getting on the track now. Good. There we go. Good. All right, cool. Just took a little bit. I'm still getting used to this G1000. Now we're going to yaw back that way. Let's get ourselves straight here, and we're good. I mean, it doesn't give you any indication in the on the at PFD if you what you have engaged, and there's no lights on the panel down below to let you know what you have engaged. So it's kind of like I guess I don't understand it, but in any event. What speed am I? You can look down at the bottom there, and right by the camera, see those little numbers there. It should indicate my ground speed. Right now I'm at 304 knots. Actually, I'm reducing here. I'm at 285. I'm going to keep it around 285 airspeed. So Doc Paul, have you tried X-Plane Native VR yet? Are you flying in VR yet, or just curious? Oh, Jay Paul, how you doing, man? Yeah, it is awesome. It is an awesome experience. You know, I was using Fly Inside for so long, and I kind of had separation anxiety from it a little bit because I was just so used to using it, and I do find that this experience is better, although you've got to do some tweaks and things to make it work properly right now. And you got to remember, it's the first release. It's a preview beta, and I'm hopeful that Laminar will improve things, with subsequent updates to it. But so far, it took some time to get things tweaked the proper way, but so far so good. So far, it's pretty damn cool. Pull my flight plan up. You know something? I think I have a problem here. For some reason, when I hit this button, it should not be adjusting my ailerons, but I think it is. Maybe not. I don't know. I think just a little touch of that yoke, it's just such a sensitive plane. Like, that could be it. Anyway. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the more, listen, the more brains I think that are on the problem, I think the better. And we're all going to have some ideas that are differing from others, and some that are the same. But I agree with you. I think it's great that that there's a real consensus of cooperation in that group, and it helps because it's not a simple problem. There's a lot of complexities to it. That's one of the the cons, I think, of native VR, is that it is a little complex right now, as is X-Plane. X-Plane can be a little complex, and I think there's some things that maybe they could do to make things a little bit more plug and play. There's no reason why you You know, there are some scripts out there that can modify settings and stuff like that on the fly. There's no reasons why they can't do things like that for VR, knowing that if you're in a plane at one place, you might get different frame rates than if you were in another place. So if that's the case, then you kind of have to, you know, I think it needs to get more sophisticated in that respect. I also think that once X-Plane migrates to Vulkan, which you know, apparently they're in the process of doing, that's going to make a big difference too. So, but listen, I'm pretty happy with the experience, and it's getting to the point now where the tweaking is dying down and the flying is starting to happen, which is what it's all about, you know. I took off out of Fort Lauderdale Executive, so we're heading to we're gonna head to Key West. Yeah, one of the problems is I'm gonna try to bring it up, but I have problems. I use this program called Air Server to display my ForeFlight, which I have running on an iPad, so you guys can see where I am. And I've been using that up until I started native VR because it just killed some cycles. But I'm trying to consolidate things, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to using that. So yeah, so you guys can see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I think that I think overall X-Plane is the leading flight simulator for its overall functionality, because there's some things that the other ones are missing. Like Airfly FS2 has phenomenal visuals, hands down. If you just want to sit in a plane and look around, it's the best there is. But the problem is a lot of the functionality, things that don't function properly in the cockpit. It's not a real flight model. They don't have real-world navigation and real-world comms. The map is limited. There's a lot of things that are drawbacks of Airfly, but the visuals are phenomenal. P3D is very study level, but the VR is not that great on it. You have to use flying side. My understanding is that the native for P3D version 4 is pretty awful. In any event, I think if you look at them overall, you know, functionality, real world flight, real world comms, real world navigation, map size, etc. I think X-Plane has to win. You know, and but it has to get better. I mean, it's good that there's competition pushing them to make it better, because it has to get better. In fact, I think we're going to hopefully see pretty soon an offering from the folks at Fly Inside with their flight sim. They've been working on it for probably about 6 or 8 months now, and when I last heard from Daniel Church, they were working on consolidating the size of the scenery, and you know, that was over a month ago. So, you know, I was hoping to see something last year, but hopefully we'll see something in the next, you know, couple months. And you know, that's going to be VR out of the gate. That's how they started Fly Inside. So you know, that's going to be VR out of the gate. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, you know. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If you have a desire to fly, which a lot of us do, man, doesn't that look real? I don't know about you, man, but that looks freaking real. That looks really cool, man. Wow. Yeah, those of us look, I don't like how it went outside that GPS vector. Maybe I need to have something set like the yaw damper or something like that. But you see how it kind of went outside the line, and I mean, it should be able to hold that line, you know. In any event, yeah, I mean, if you want to fly a real world I think most people will either go with P3D or X-Plane. And a lot of them go with X-Plane. We have a lot of people in VR Aviators group that are real-world pilots that will tell you that, you know, X-Plane's very realistic. I mean, it's missing some things, like the Cessna's missing, doesn't float properly, doesn't, you know, it doesn't flare properly. The SR20 is modeled very well according to people that fly the real thing. I'm not sure about this jet. I don't know. But, you know, so that's kind of a cool thing. Pardon me. That you have real-world pilots that are, you know, basically confirming the realistic flight of X-Plane. But you also have real-world pilots that are using P3D, and I think those are probably the two, as far as in the realistic category, I think those are the two that, for general aviation and commercial aviation, are the two that are competing. Now, if you get into military, then you have to bring DCS in, because their VR experience is pretty phenomenal. And I haven't seen it yet, but I think I've heard that the 2.5 version, which is in beta now, is pretty amazing. So, but again, that's limited to military. So if you're really into military and that's all you want to fly, I mean, DCS is your jam, you know. But if you want to fly general aviation like I do, I think X-Plane 11 is the way to go. And what's nice about it is, I mean, you can get into it. Well, in VR, you have to have a VR system and all that, but you can get into it without buying a lot of software, you know. I mean, the planes that come with it are pretty damn good. You may have to buy a few planes here and there. I haven't spent a lot of money on planes, really. You don't really need to buy all the extensive scenery. You can if you want to. Ortho 4XP is basically free. Once you learn how to do it, you know, it's pretty much free. So, yeah, I'm very happy. I was an Aerofly VR flyer. I was flying FSX, and I took the plunge into X-Plane. It might be about a year ago. Maybe about a year ago. Maybe a little less than a year ago. And I'm very happy that I did. Man, does that look real? Holy crap. What makes it look real is how smoothly we're moving. You know, going 295 miles an hour, or sorry, say knots, I should say. Let's check out outside. Oh, let me show you this. This is pretty cool. I love this. It's my favorite view right there. If you look here, you can see. Well, the other day I could see inside the plane. That was kind of weird. Kind of egg-shaped. And you can see Austin Meyer flying it right there. That's a problem right there, that floating X-Pad. That's the one disappointment about... Now, and again, I know it's the first release, okay? So one disappointment about 11.20 VR preview beta is the X-Pad. If the X-Pad is only going to do X-Plane maps, I'm not sure I will ever use it, because I don't use that function at all. You know, if the X-Pad is going to allow you someday to bring in external iPad applications, that would be very cool. Especially if they could do it in a way where it's not taxing on your system. I mean, if you could have ForeFlight running on that thing, that would be, you could just hold the ForeFlight and look at it. That would be pretty cool. But, you know, X-Pad, I mean, I'll show you. Let's go back in the cockpit. So we can go show map. And then we can scroll in, and there we are. I mean, it's basically the same thing that you see on, I don't know why it has all these wind speed indicators on there. I can't understand why that's on there. Maybe I have to turn something off. But, you know, it's basically the same map that you have inside X-Plane. It doesn't really do anything other than show you where you are. But if this thing were a little bigger and it can give you 4 flight, that would be pretty cool. I think that's Marathon right down there. Marathon Airport, yep. It's Marathon. Hard hit by the hurricane this year. Pretty cool the way they have that airport situated. I've never landed there. I'll have to try that sometimes, do some pattern work at Marathon. Maybe I have, actually. All right, so now we got an extensive amount of water here that we're going to be flying over. Yeah, for some reason we don't tick away the flight plan like we do in the SR20. Not sure why. It's not really functioning properly. See, it doesn't show the distance and go nearest. Nearest works, but the flight plan doesn't seem to work. I'm going to start to get down here now. So let's set our altitude to let's set it to 1800. We're going to go vertical speed. Then we're going to go down. So, I mean, this plane is, Laminar said it's not fully supported, and it is not fully supported in VR. But it is manageable. I mean, you can do a flight in it. It's a $2 million plane, I think. I'm waiting for it to get on FS Economy. I think it'd be great in FS Economy. I think it's 6 passengers. It'd be great. Yeah, it would be. You're right. It would be good if the sim had a pointer to reach the buttons. That's coming. They're working on that. If you look at the dev blog, Laminar's dev blog, Ben had a whole blog post about that and what they're looking at. They're actually looking at like a laser pointer, where you would use the touch controller. You would point at something, click softly to kind of like engage it, and once you knew you was the right button, you would click fully, and that would actually select the button. Or you would click at, let's say, the heading button from here, and I could engage it, and then I could turn to make a change. So they are definitely looking at that, and I think it sounds like a really good capability. So, Doc Paul, have you flown in real life in the Keys? Setcom 1 to 119.675.
Com 1 set to 121.5.
Setcom 1 119.675.
Com1 set to 11.9.675. Key West International Information, Quebec. 1900 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -11. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 27, departing runway 27. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec. Key West International Information, Quebec. 1900 Zulu weather.
Many times. All right, what kind of plane? Yeah, plane command is a must in VR, 100%. What kind of plane have you flown? Just curious. Very nice. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I envy you. Someday, hopefully, things go right. I'll be able to work on getting a private pilot's license. That's the goal. But for now, this will do. This will suffice. I tell you, in VR, it's absolutely a must if you have a hat switch to set it up so you can modify your view, because it just allows you to, it just allows you to kind of dial things in. All right, we should be lined up very nicely now. Let me just see if I can zoom in here. And there's our airport way out there. All right, we've got 8 miles, so we're going to take it off autopilot. And we're going to hand fly this guy in. It is a little touchy, this plane. It's pretty sensitive. Yeah, I need to learn about aviation. I bought the books, I just haven't had time to start. I need to go ground up and educate myself. Got a lot to learn. Oh. That wasn't good. Sometimes that happens when you switch scenery. It's the military base there, so you know you're getting close. Start slowing this baby down. But it's so smooth. It's compared to, I have probably said it before, but compared to even Aerofly, I don't think Aerofly is this smooth. I'm gonna have to jump in Aerofly later today just to get a level set, because I haven't flown in a while. I mean, the smoothness of this is just, I don't know. Let's get our gear down. Got 3 green. Right there indicated on the systems panel. Go full flaps. 500 feet. You got a lot of leeway to stall speed on this plane. It stalls at 70, so you can run it at 90, 80 to get her in, and then you just kind of land it like the SR20. Once you get it flared out, you just let the throttle down and let her float down. I was actually watching some real-world pilots land this thing, and it's the same. You know? But look how smooth that is. I mean, hopefully it's translating for you guys how smooth the scenery is moving. It's like you're in a commercial simulator. That kind of smoothness. Trim it up a little. Oh, we just changed colors there. That was interesting. There we go. We got the numbers. Flare that up. Bring that throttle back. A little bit of a float there, but not bad. Pretty good landing. Right on the center line too, baby. All right, let's get her off the active. Clean up the aircraft. And then we'll do a replay. Alright, let's set the brakes here. Set parking brake.
Parking brakes set.
Alright, let's do our replay. Explain will help you with all the functions, procedures towards the private. Yeah, I agree with that. Hey Donovan, how you doing? Yep, I'm sure you agree. Yeah, I'm sure the landings are very different. Let's take a look. Let's take a replay look here. I can actually do this. I can go on the main screen here. Set myself up. This is a cool view. That's a cool view. Right on the center line. Right there's the flare right there. Kind of holding the flare. Oh, I kind of bounced. Did I bounce there? Oh, I think I did. That's not good. Let's see if we had a bounce here. There's the flare. No, it wasn't a bounce. It was like a double attempt. That wasn't too bad. What do you give it, Donovan? 7? 6, 7? Let's check it from the front. I mean, it's definitely centered. You got to give me that. Just a little float there. Not too bad. See what you guys think. What do you guys think? I know, any landing you walk away from is a good landing. That was an 8? Nah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, you know, didn't hurt anybody. Nobody spilled their drink. Yeah, definitely more flare. I gotta work on that. Like, my eye for flare, I have to kind of work on getting that plane like, you know, like that, like that, you know, instead of like, I kind of come like that instead of like that. So I have to, like I said, I'm basically illiterate when it comes to aviation. So there's a lot that I need to learn. You know, I was watching Premier One Driver, and just the computations he goes through before landing, you know, I don't know any of that. Now, I know with this jet, it's supposed to be made for, it's supposed to be designed to make it pretty simple to land. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I've probably done about maybe 10 landings in this plane. This is the first landing, second landing I've done in native VR though, and there's a difference because, there's definitely a difference because, you know, in Fly Inside it was not as smooth, so you have to be more. It's like I say it's like more granular. Like the granularity is finer, so you have to be more precise with your movements. Let the plane run out of energy. Right, exactly. I mean, you still have to flare it a little to get the back wheels down first, though, right? You want the back wheels to hit first, and then come down on the front wheel. I guess. I mean, I go to the local airport and I watch people landing Cessnas all day, and they pretty much all do that. They'll come down on the back wheels first, small flare, and then come down on the front wheel. So anyway, well, I just wanted to fly this one, guys. That was a lot of fun. Let me see. I wonder if I could fly something else here. I do like this plane. Flying down the road, trying your best not to land it. It will automatically pitch you up. Yeah. I get you. So you basically let the energy bleed out, kind of, right? Let's see. Let me see if I can pull up another plane here. We'll just do a little bit of pattern work here. Let's go to function. And let's see. What can we pull up here that we haven't flown yet? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take off in the Big Bird. We'll go from Key West. Oops. We'll go in the 737. It looks really cool in VR, I'll tell you that. See what kind of frame rates we get here. Yeah, I do need to get my private. Oh, that was quick. Look how quickly that came up. Now, you have full functionality in this plane. And it looks badass. I gotta tell you, man, it looks badass. Oh, but you're like way up here. These runways are tiny, though. I mean, at taxiways, they are tiny. I mean, I know enough to get this plane off the ground, so that's what we're gonna do. So. I do like flying this from time to time. I don't know how you, how you would taxi this plane on this tiny runway. I guess we're in GA, we're in general aviation, so I should have probably started somewhere else. I mean, the switches and dials look incredible. This is probably, if I'm gonna ever learn to fly a tube, this is probably gonna be the one I'm gonna learn. Yeah, KEYW does take commercial, but I think I was on a GA taxiway. Yeah, I'm lost in big planes too, but you know what? I love flying them because they go so damn fast and they climb so damn hard, so damn far quickly. But I want to get my flaps here, and hopefully we got enough gas. I'm just taking off. Gonna rev her up. Let the engines come up. Release the brakes. There we go. So smooth. Hopefully we don't run out of runway here. I don't think we will. There we go. That looks so cool, man. Man, that looks so real. And again, it's the movement, you know? Let's get her up there. It's going to bring up to 10,000. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go. That was my son. He's at the door. I gotta go let him in. So it was a lot of fun. I appreciate the guidance, and hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with some more streaming in the native VR. Have a great day, guys. Take care.